It's a big, beautiful honor to welcome everyone to the White House for this very historic peace summit between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Tonight, we begin with a story that is both bizarre and deeply concerning for the future of American democracy. President Donald Trump, a man who has never hidden his authoritarian ambitions, is once again making headlines, not just for his words, but for the company he keeps and the troubling messages he's sending. Trump has repeatedly joked and sometimes hinted about serving beyond the constitutionally allowed 2 terms as president. Even before his election, he openly said he'd be a dictator on day 1, and in the first 7 months of his current term, he has already deployed federal troops to multiple U.S. cities, an unprecedented move that critics say amounts to a form of domestic military occupation. But last week, Trump took his dictator talk to a whole new stage and an international audience. The guest of honor at the White House was Ilham Aliyev, the president of Azerbaijan, a man widely regarded as an authoritarian ruler. Aliyev has held power for over 20 years, presided over rigged elections, committed documented human rights abuses, and maintained a tight police-state grip on his country. During Aliyev's visit, Trump decided to give him a tour of what can only be described as a dictator gift shop inside the White House. Trump proudly showcased merchandise promoting the idea of extending his presidency, including slogans suggesting 4 more years and beyond. At one point, he told the visiting leader and others present to grab whatever you want, as if White House diplomacy now comes with complimentary souvenirs. But it was one of Trump's own comments that revealed the deeper strategy. He admitted he makes such merchandise because it drives the left crazy. In other words, he knows he can't legally serve more than 2 terms, but he deliberately stokes fears to provoke his opponents, while simultaneously normalizing the idea of a leader staying in power indefinitely. Those fears are not unfounded. This year alone, Republicans in some states have moved to cancel elections and aggressively gerrymander districts in ways that could lock Democrats out of power for years. When Trump tells a foreign dictator, "Everyone wants me to run again," and Aliyev replies, "including us," it signals something chilling: international support for the idea of Trump holding on to power beyond constitutional limits. Trump has a history of repeating this suggestion about a 3rd term, almost monthly, which some analysts see as an intentional effort to soften public resistance. 4 or 5 months ago, some commentators advised ignoring it as political trolling, but recent developments have made that advice harder to follow. Still, there is one reason many believe Trump may never actually seek a 3rd term: his rapidly declining mental sharpness. Observers note a visible deterioration in his cognitive abilities in just 7 months, raising questions about whether, by the end of this term, he would even remember the meaning of the word dictator. Beyond the political implications, there is something deeply strange, even disturbing, about turning the White House into a personal merchandise shop. Imagine President Obama or President Biden inviting a foreign leader into the Oval Office, then handing out campaign hats and t-shirts. The outrage from conservative media would be deafening. Yet for Trump, it is treated as business as usual. What we saw in that meeting with Aliyev wasn't just a breach of diplomatic norms. It was a carefully staged moment that blended self-promotion, authoritarian signaling, and a willingness to blur or even erase the boundaries of presidential power. And that is why this episode, while bizarre on the surface, could have consequences far beyond a few souvenir hats.
Please do like and subscribe and stay with us for more updates. Thanks for watching.